Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the Gacha Guide. We are here once more in the Summoning Circle to let you know whether you should spend your hard-earned quartz on the following servant or not. Today's topic servant is the Playful Tengu Ushiwakamaru Summer version. We will be covering all the points that you can see on screen, so let's jump right in and start with her stats. Summer Ushiwakamaru is a 4-star AoE assassin class servant, meaning she will do extra damage against riders and will be weak to casters. She has 9,456 attack at level 80, meaning she has the highest attack stat compared to other 4-star assassins. Her HP at 80, conversely, is 10,580, almost the lowest in 4-star assassin health. Her hidden stats reveal that she has a 0.54% NP gain on her hit, which is relatively average. As for her cards, her quick card has 4 hits, her arts card have 4 hits, her buster card has 3 hits, and her extra is 6 hits, above average hit counts overall. Her star weight, aka how much priority she has for crit star absorption, is 102. This is a little bit above the average, not by too much, but a little. Her star creation rate, on the other hand, is 25.3%. This is incredibly high, one of the highest available in the game. Most assassins have pretty high star generation, so she fits right in with the rest of them. And especially considering she has 3 quick cards to work with, that is fantastic for her. Now, moving on to her deck in Noble Phantasm. As you can see with her deck, she has 3 quick cards to work with, 1 arts card, and 1 buster card. This is a heavily focused, quick-styled deck, with her Noble Phantasm itself also being a quick card. It is Tengu no Hachiwa, Akarashi Makaze, the Gale of the Tengu's Feather Fan. As I said before, it is a quick Noble Phantasm. It is AoE. It does 5 hits. It will deal damage to all enemies, remove any of their offensive buffs, which includes the following: attack up, any of the cards up, damage up, critical up, sure hit, defense penetration, etc., etc. And also reduce their quick resistance for 3 turns based on your overcharge, between 20 to 40%. Unfortunately, that quick resistance reduction does not happen before her hit does damage on her Noble Phantasm. So this will not affect her NP's damage, which is a little unfortunate. This is, however, a really good Noble Phantasm overall, with big synergy with her deck. Next up, her passives. Summer Ushiwakamaru has Presence Concealment C-, increasing her critical star gen rate by 5.5%, Independent Action A+, increasing her critical damage by 11%, and Riding A+, increasing her quick performance by 11%. These are all fantastic passives for her deck and skills. She produces stars easily, she is able to use them well, and she has a passive buff to 4 out of 6 of her cards. They're basically the perfect passives for her and some of the best possible passives in the game. Let's look at her skills now. First off, we have Animal Dialogue. This is very simply a self-NP charge skill between 20 to 40% based on your level, with a unfortunate 6-turn cooldown, a little longer than you'd hope to see, but it is a simple but strong skill. Second, we have the Tengu Art of Game, Summer. This gives her 1 turn of evasion and increases her quick card performance for 3 turns between 20 and 30%. Again, another simple but powerful skill. And finally, Heavenly Child of Kurama. This increases her critical star absorption for 1 turn, gives her self-debuff immunity for 1 turn, and finally, powers up her normal attacks for 1 turn that gives her a 40% chance to remove enemy buffs when attacking. So, this is a slight star absorption skill for herself, which is okay overall. But the more important part is that 40% chance to remove enemy buffs. It's an interesting skill that ranges from okay to pretty darn good, depending on if you get that 40% and start removing enemy buffs. This can get rid of some of those more dangerous things if you don't have a Noble Phantasm ready in the category of offensive buffs, and even remove some of those defensive buffs before you Noble Phantasm with her in case you need a little extra damage. It has a pretty high possible skill ceiling, but at its base, a little bit weak. Now let's look at her skill level costs. If you want to level up her skills, you're going to need the following materials, and unfortunately, one of them is rough. So, first off, we have 12 Koton Magatamas, 15 Yggdrasil Seeds, 20 Shells of Reminiscence, and here's the rough one, 20 Giant's Rings per skill. Those Giant's Rings are the toughest part because they are a very new material introduced in Lost Belt 2, so most people probably haven't had a chance to farm much of them up. Altogether, to max out her skills, you will need 36 Magatamas, 45 Seeds, 60 Shells, and 60 Giant's Rings. Again, don't feel bad if you don't have the Giant's Rings. Most people probably won't at this point. Now, how does Summer Ushiwakamaru stack up against her competition? As an AoE 4-star assassin, her main competition belongs to Summer Skaha, Summer Nidokris, and Kato Danzo. Summer Ushiwakamaru absolutely cleans up the competition, and is easily the strongest servant in this lineup. In terms of her synergy with Skadi's system, Skaha is the only other quick servant that can compete with her, and honestly, they're both around the same tier in terms of MP generation. I think Summer Skaha is a little bit better, but Summer Ushiwakamaru, on the other hand, has better skills to work with, and overall better damage. So at the end of the day, she is easily the best performing servant of the 4-star AoE assassins. In my personal opinion, she's a very good servant in general. She's quite good. She has a powerful AoE to work in a class with very little to no competition for the role. Her skills and passives all synergize well with each other. She has some good synergy with Skadi, and even a little bit of Skadi looping potential. She's not the best at it, but she has it. The only real downside to her is that her Noble Phantasm damage is unfortunately a little bit low, but that is about the only bad part that I can say when I'm talking about Summer Ushi. She's quite good. So if you decide to roll for Summer Ushi, what skills should you prioritize in? I will, as usual, suggest the NP generation skill. NP Gen on demand is always good to have, followed by her second skill for that quick card performance up for 3 turns. And finally, Heavenly Child of Kurama. You can leave this relatively low leveled. It's the weakest skill overall. Again, the strongest part of it is only a 40% chance to work, and just a little bit of star absorption isn't that much. Self-debuff immunity isn't that helpful. So you can generally leave that pretty low level. Now, as for craft essences to equip her with, she is an extremely quick focus servant. Focusing on buffing her quick capabilities is generally going to be your best bet. One Summer is, in my opinion right now, the absolute best CE to equip her with, because this gives you a 10% quick performance up, 10% MP damage up, and starts her at a 50% MP charge, which means that you are able to very easily reach that 100%. You only need an extra 10% with Ushi's own skill. There is another craft essence coming out very soon in the Halloween event coming up called 3 Anglers. Once this comes up, this is a good craft essence to equip her with. It gives you 15% quick performance up, 15% NP damage up, and 15% critical damage up. This is a fine substitute that doesn't have the starting charge if you either don't have one Summer available or don't think you need to start with a 50% MP charge. Now, both Petite Halloween Devil and Magical Girl of Sapphire are fine choices if you're trying to loop with Skadi. They both have NP generation up effects as their passives, 25% on the Halloween Petite Devil and 30% on Magical Girl of Sapphire. And this can help Summer Ushi push up to that 50% to 60% she needs to either use her skill or Skadi's skill for the next MP on the next turn. It's not perfect, and again, she's not the best Skadi looper out there, but these two craft essences can really help you reach that breakpoint. As for servants to pair her with, well, we'll start with Waver. He is, of course, pretty much a no-brainer all the time. 50% MP charge, attack up, critical damage up, defense up. Hard to say no to him. But as a quick servant, Skadi is absolutely the best support to pair her up with. Preferably if you can borrow a friend Skadi and have your own. 2 Skadis is the absolute best support that you can give any quick servant. Due to her 50% quick damage up and 50% critical damage up on your quick cards, that lasts for 3 turns. Combine those both, and you have massive damage output on 4 out of 6 of Ushiwakamaru's cards. Now, if you don't quite have them, you need a little extra support. Osakabe Hime is a okay substitute. She's far from ideal, though. Her Noble Phantasm will improve quick, increase her tankiness and stuff like that if you're going for a longer fight, and she is also an assassin, so the class advantage stack up will help out. But needing to use her NP to properly support is definitely not the ideal thing. There's a reason why most people don't think Osakabe Hime is all that good. Aside from her, we have Wu Zetian, who is a very good semi-support to bring along. She boosts regular attack performance, quick performance for the entire party, lowers enemies' defense, and can provide a strong single-target Noble Phantasm if Summer Ushiwakamaru cannot deal enough damage to finish off a high-health, tough enemy. And these are definitely the servants that I most suggest to take with you. So too long didn't watch? This is a great servant to roll for, quite good. She's one of the few strong AoE assassins. She has some slight Scotty looping potential, although not the best at it. Everything in her package synergizes with itself, so she doesn't really have a single bad point. And if you really need an extra reason to roll for her, well, it's very simple. She really wants to go play with you. So go pull for Summer Ushiwakamaru, go play with her, and have a great time. Let me know your opinions on Summer Ushi, and if you enjoyed the video, check out my Twitch channel, all that stuff. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.